Oh my god. What's going on, everyone? Holy shit, there's 89 of you here right now. Thank you guys for stopping by. This is crazy. Absolute insanity. It looks like the chat is kind of working over here, so I might need to fix that in a little bit. But wow, I don't even know where to start. So first of all, let's go ahead and pay our respects to the great Patterson, who we lost today. He was fantastic. You know, a lot of my childhood memories included Patterson in the Attitude Era. So thank you for everything that you have done, and gone but not forgotten. Never forgotten. All right, so where do you guys want to get started? You guys just want to jump in to what everyone wants to talk about, or should we start from the beginning? Maybe start from the beginning is kind of what I'm thinking. We got to talk about Sting first. Surprised to see me debut on AEW. Yeah, I know. That's why it took me 15 minutes to get this all set up. I sound like a teenager. I'm not, man. I'm 31 years old. WWE Hall of Famer, WCW legend Sting. That is me. Take it from the top. Start at the end. Let's go from the beginning. Let's go from the beginning. All right. So, where do I start? Where is my my thing here? Let's start from the beginning. Face reveal. I don't have a camera, man. I do not. The one that I want to get is very expensive, and I don't want to make the $800-900 purchase for this not to go anywhere. So if this turns out well, people like the show, and I can actually put on a good show, maybe, sure. It would be a lot easier than having all this fancy stuff on the screen, and we could just chat. For everyone that is just joining, holy shit, there is 120 people here. That's absolutely insane. Thank all of you. I really appreciate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about the show from the beginning, I guess, and we'll work our way through. And then in the future, hopefully by the next episode on Friday, or at least next week before another AEW or NXT review, I'll have a Discord set up. So if you guys want to hop in, we can hop in a call together and we can all chat. So be able to bring you guys in on the show. You can say our opinion, or your opinion. I can state mine. You love the show, what you love, you hate. It's all good. It's going to be community driven, and I want you guys all involved as much as possible. So let me move chat over here really quick. Am I Cody Rhodes? No, I am not Cody Rhodes. I love you, AEW. I love you too, JTV Worldwide. I appreciate you guys. Cover Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, it's Raw and SmackDown are going to be brutal. Gonna be brutal. Okay, so before we do all of these questions and things, maybe we could do that after a little bit, but let's go ahead and start with the show and talk about it and get through it. And if you guys want to do NXT as well, that is always possible. Always possible. Covering Impact now, I will answer that one. Yes, we are 100% going to be watching Impact for right now. 100%. 100%. It sucks because that's a lot. That's a lot of wrestling coverage, but we got to do it. We got to do it. Okay, so first of all, let's get started with this show here. Opened up with the Battle Royal. All right. AEW still hasn't caught on what to do yet with Battle Royals. They're always a little sloppy, man. Always a little sloppy. But they had some really good spots. Really good spots. Miro looked really, really good. I know there's a lot of people that are complaining about Miro with the whole game thing and feuding with best friends. I don't know why people don't like best friends. I love the best friends. They're fantastic, if you ask me. So I have absolutely no problems with it. Wait, did you really debut on AEW? No. Yes, I am Sting. But anyways, Miro had a fantastic showing. The spot with Private Party, I think it was Marq Quen, if I remember correctly. And Matt Hardy, where he goes over the top and on his back, and then he shoots back over and Miro throws him off. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that spot. And he eliminated like 4 people in like 2 seconds. So the build is there, and I didn't actually get a chance to post it yesterday because there was just kind of chaos. But Tony Khan essentially said that, people were complaining like, oh, Rusev, you have Rusev, and he's the guy that came out at WrestleMania in the tank, right? Well, he's like, that Rusev, that was 5 years ago. 5 years. And essentially was just saying that he got kicked in the balls for 5 years. So the Miro that he has on the AEW roster is not the same Rusev that came out 5 years ago at WrestleMania. So message retracted. Oh, that's okay. That means someone else deleted it. Okay. So yeah, it's got to be the slow build. He was also mentioning about how it's hard for them to create a star at the very end of the year when they're doing their wins and losses and their ranking and all sorts of stuff like that. Very hard to fit him in, and they didn't want to displace any of the things that they had going with John Moxley or any of the other people. So everything is staying its course, and he will be there eventually, which I am very excited about. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love Miro. I loved Rusev back in WWE. The height of Rusev Day was my absolute favorite thing ever. So I'm very looking forward to this a lot. Will I be posting highlights? Yes, we will be posting highlights. There will be some other stuff posted on there as well for people who cannot catch the show. The tease of Miro versus Wardlow was amazing. Yes, I absolutely agree. It was good. Two big dudes, man. That's gonna be a good one. That is gonna be a good one. It was Isiah. My apologies. It was not Marq Quen. Let's see here. What else? Do we have any? You love Best Friends JTV? Me too, man. Me too. Anyone else have any thoughts on the Battle Royal? So the winners ended up being, so if you're not familiar with how this works here, the Battle Royal for the Dynamite ring, it doesn't actually have a winner. So it goes to two people, right? And then next week they will have a match against each other. So next week we're going to have MJF, who won the last Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal, going up against Orange Cassidy as well. Orange Cassidy was disappointing in your opinion. I kind of agree. Kenny versus Cody. Jungle Boy should have eliminated the Inner Circle. Yeah, but see, for Jungle Boy, I think the thing that's going to come up is, he's going to be, they're going to have a trios titles. It seems like he pretty much, Tony Khan all confirmed it. Next year in 2021 that they're going to have trios titles. So it doesn't really make sense for any of them to do anything, because they're going to definitely be involved in that. Orange Cassidy as well, actually, with Best Friends. I would assume that. I would have liked to have seen MJF and Sammy Guevara, or MJF and Wardlow, or maybe even Wardlow and Sammy, to kind of create some more tension, if you will, inside the Inner Circle. And I'm not quite sure where they're going to go with all this Inner Circle stuff, but I would have liked to see it center around maybe the ring. Because, MJF has a ring, Sammy Guevara has a ring. They're on equal playing fields now, John Silver low-key needs a big push. I would agree. John Silver was great. John Silver is great. He's put on some excellent singles matches for sure. He's gotten stupid over on BTE. Absolutely. And today he was riding Hangman like a horse in the Battle Royal. Let's see here. You would like to see Orange Cassidy and Kenny Omega. That would be an interesting mix up there. The women's I don't feel like the AEW women's roster is disappointing. I feel like their booking is kind of disappointing. It definitely leaves some stuff. Where does Hangman Dark Order storyline goes when Brody Lee? I don't know. So apparently Brody Lee is injured. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe Hangman will come in and take over things. And then there will be tension between that. But if you do that, then you have the same kind of Inner Circle Dark Order kind of thing going on where they're having the same problems with like a leader or a leader figure, if you will. And I don't think I want to see Hangman join the Dark Order, to be honest. I don't know. I could be wrong. I hated the Dark Order. I think most people hated the Dark Order when they debuted, but they've grown on a lot of people, I think. I don't know if it's just because of BTE or if it's just everything else, but I enjoy them now. So yeah, anyways, kind of disappointing in my opinion, the opening match. Their battle royals are always sloppy. AEW loves to have just chaos. It's always chaos in everything, even after the matches. I think almost most of the matches tonight started or ended, if you will, in chaos or brawls. That's just like, it seems to be their go-to for everything. Seems to be their go-to. And I'm not quite sure why. Does this make all of the elite champions? Yeah, I guess essentially it would. Kenny and the Bucks, yes, they are now champions. How long do I expect these live streams to be? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like 30 minutes or an hour. I don't know. Somewhere around there. We'll see and kind of go. Do I know JD from NY? No, I do not. No. Where was Death Triangle? They were not on the show tonight at all. I'm not sure why. Eddie Kingston and friends were not on the show tonight either, but he was at the end of the show saying that he wanted to fight Lance Archer next week. Yeah, the post match brawls, they last so long, and it's just their go to. And I could do without it all the time. Especially in the beginning, they did a lot of that. Like every single ending of AEW Dynamite at the beginning of the show, every single one of them ended in a brawl or like just chaos. This stream about to be 12 hours long. Please God, no. Shows the Yeezy collection. I don't have a webcam. I don't have a camera set up for anything. Did I miss anything with Death Triangle and the fam? No, they neither one of them are on the show tonight at all. Post match brawls. Yeah, I already read that one. For the trios titles, have either Death Triangle or Jurassic. Yeah, I would agree. Death Triangle, Jurassic Express is a good one. There's a lot though. Like SCU is in the mix. Hold on, let me see. I actually posted it earlier. It would be this one here. Okay, so off the top, here's some trios for you. Jurassic Express, Best Friends, Death Triangle, Eddie Kingston, Butcher and the Blade, The Elite, Dark Order, SCU, Inner Circle, and Team Taz. That's a lot. That's like a pretty deep trios division, like right off the bat. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on here. The next match, we had Chris Jericho taking on Frankie Kazarian. Again, kind of disappointing start to the show, if I'm being honest. Yes, Gun Club as well. Gun Club. No, fuck the What's wrong with the Gun Club? Hardy Party, yes, that's a good one as well. The Nightmare Family, that's another one. That is another one. So they have a very deep trios division already. Lucha Underground, I haven't really watched Lucha Underground that much. With all the contract signing stuff and the hostage stuff they did, I wasn't really into it. Jericho too slow in the ring nowadays with the match with Kazarian. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is what it is. I wasn't expecting anything from this, and I'm kind of surprised that they even put it on the show. I wasn't expecting a banger or anything. The match was kind of slow paced. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I don't know. It wasn't a good start to the show. I feel like they could have opened up with something better, or they could have even just scheduled something better, to be honest. At the last pay-per-view, they had Hangman and Kenny Omega kicking off the show, which was absolutely insane. Like, what more could you ask for, right? When you first enter into a show, they need to just hit you super hard. You need to be pumped, ready to go, excited for the event. And then, they can kind of slow down a little bit in the middle and then kick it back up towards the end. Both of these just kind of seemed really slow for me. What did I expect? I just expected a meh. That's all I expected. Nothing more, nothing less. It delivered exactly what I thought it would. And that's not to take away anything from Chris Jericho or Frankie Kazarian, because I think they're both great. But for the whole Winter is Coming thing, it was just huge. Like, the hype was real for this event, and I just feel like they really didn't deliver as much in the beginning. I don't know. Did you guys like it? Jericho doesn't need to retire. He should lead the Inner Circle and just do his thing on the mic. See, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind seeing a more of a manager role from Jericho, putting people over and then stepping in the ring when it makes sense. Jericho's a big attraction still to this day. He's still a big draw. So using him sparingly and in meaningful ways would be much better. And he could use the Inner Circle, like his lackeys, to do his dirty work. And they could be the ones in the matches helping getting them over and putting them over. Although, I do think they've done a pretty good job at getting the people in the Inner Circle over. I know a lot of people were super pissed about the team, or not, maybe pissed isn't the correct word, but they were just like, okay, you have these random guys. Cool story, And I think they're really meshed and molded together. And I actually think that Wardlow and MJF fit in there perfectly. Everyone actually, Chris Jericho wanted MJF to be in the inner circle in the beginning, but they couldn't because he was working a program with Cody. That's what they had him scheduled with. So instead of taking MJF, he ended up taking Sammy Guevara instead. So in case you didn't know that, that's pretty interesting. Everything Jericho touches turns to gold. I absolutely agree with that. And, you know, a lot of people complain about the stupid things in wrestling. And if there's one person that can do some of the dumbest things in wrestling, it's Chris Jericho. I mean, look at all of the things this guy has done that is just stupid, just absolutely dumb. And it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. The bubbly bunch, terrible idea. But it's Chris Jericho, so he can pull it off, right? Chris Jericho in his hot tub in leather pants, drinking champagne. He can do it. He's Chris Jericho. He's funny. He can pull these things off. Could you use Jericho manager like Taz? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would like to see that. I would like to see Jericho more in a manager role, but stepping in when it matters. Pay-per-views maybe, bigger matches, stuff like that. I would really like to see that. I think that would fit him much better. Jake Hager is still boring for me. Why do you think he's so boring? Is it just, I mean, he doesn't really do much, or he hasn't done much in AEW yet, other than just kind of be there. He's only had a couple matches to my knowledge, right? Unless I'm forgetting. Where was Santana? Yeah, I'm not quite sure where Santana was. Ortiz was there, but not Santana. Prince Face, what do I see Sammy Guevara turning on the inner circle and becoming a face? I don't know. I don't see Sammy or the inner circle breaking off at all, to be honest. I think this is kind of just a placeholder thing to kind of get them through a little bit. And they'll have their troubles, but they'll eventually get through it. And I think there'll be at least this is what I want. I want them to be fine, and I want them to do very well as a team, as a cohesive team. And then I think what I want to see in the future is I want to see MJF give Chris Jericho the boot, and MJF can become the leader of the inner circle. You could even have some sort of Bullet Club / elite type gimmick thing, you know, where you have the inner circle, but they kind of are like two separate instances of the inner circle. So you would have like MJF's inner circle and then like Chris Jericho's inner circle or something like that. Something along those lines I think would be pretty cool. There's a lot of story to tell inside the inner circle with everyone, I think. You got two big dudes. You got MJF, who's a star. You got Chris Jericho, who's a star. You got Sammy Guevara, who could be a star. You have an awesome tag team. There's a lot. I think there's a lot to be told in the inner circle, and I think it has a long lifespan as well. I don't think they'll be going anywhere anytime soon. If the inner circle breakup, Santana and Ortiz need a tag team championship run. Yeah, man, the tag teams in AEW are incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's so difficult for me to be like, man, these guys need to do this and these guys need to do that. Like, I was super sold on Best Friends being the next tag team champions, especially after that parking lot match that they had with Santana and Ortiz. That was incredible. That match was awesome. And but no, it was the Young Bucks, and I'm not mad at that either. I think they definitely deserve their shine. A lot of people have been complaining like, oh, you know, these people were so good in New Japan or Ring of Honor and blah, 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 blah. Now that they own their own company, they suck and they're just kind of here and yada, yada, yada. So we'll see how that turns out, I guess, now that Kenny and the Young Bucks are champions. Will AEW buy Impact? No, absolutely not. I do not think so at all. A partnership, though, obviously. So that will be interesting. So after this, we'll be covering Impact on Tuesday. Yes. Yes, for the foreseeable future, we will be watching Impact, and I will be covering them on Tuesdays. I'm not sure that there's going to be a post show or anything. I'm not too familiar with Impact. I've watched it a couple times, as most of you may already know, but it hasn't really been for me. But maybe an AEW crossover will change that, because there's a lot of amazing matches that can happen. Motor City Machine Guns and the Young Bucks could happen. Yes, absolutely. FTR and the North could happen. That's a lot of people have been wanting to see that as well. Maybe they can lend some tag teams to Impact so they can split their tag roster. Yep. And that's an awesome thing to do as well, which is, I'll get to a post that I had earlier. I got wrong, obviously. But it's something that I've talked about plenty of times, probably in my comments, if you pay attention to those, where a partnership would make so much sense with, I thought it was going to be New Japan, honestly. I was expecting New Japan to make an appearance tonight, and more specifically, I was thinking it was going to be Kenta, and the whole thing was going to be Kenta attacked Jon Moxley 2 weeks ago or whatever. I was wrong. I was wrong. Apparently, the partnership's going to be with Impact. So, Impact has elevated their brand. Absolutely. Miro versus Willie Mack. Yep, that would be a good one. And but anyways, what I was getting to is that you can, if you're not using someone and you have someone who's top tier, and we'll use Miro for that example right now. We all want to see Miro in the limelight. We all want to see him be the world champion. At least I do. And they don't have the time for him. They don't have the spot. It's not available. So why not send him somewhere else, have him get elevated, or help elevate some other people somewhere else, have them work on the story, and then when there's time, you can bring people back and work them into the stories and stuff like that. I think that it would be fantastic. And they could do that for a lot of people, because there's, especially in AEW, they did the big tough guy a lot. Wardlow was kind of a big tough guy, although he never, at least I don't remember him having an AEW World Championship shot. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe he did. But, they had big tough guy Wardlow. Then they had big tough guy Brian Cage, who did challenge Jon Moxley and lost. Then they had Brody Lee, big tough guy, challenge Jon Moxley and he lost. And then they had Lance Archer, big tough guy, challenge Jon Moxley and he lost. So you have all these big guys. So, they just can't do it with Rusev or Miro. So, they need to kind of, I think it makes sense. A partnership makes sense. Send people somewhere else where they can do something, and they're not just sitting there doing nothing. AEW can only do so much with the stories they have. Miro will be in the spotlight eventually. Absolutely, and I agree. Absolutely. And there's also speculation of them splitting Dark into 2 different shows as well. I don't know if you guys heard that. I didn't post anything about it, but the rumor, or I guess not rumor, because I'm pretty sure Tony Khan was the one that said it. They're considering splitting Dark into 2 different shows. So it'll be on Tuesday and Thursday, I believe, with one of them being like a more developmental show where you'll see the enhancement talent and the local people that they've signed, or not signed, but they're working with. And then you'll have another episode or sort of version of Dark where you'll see their actual superstars that just aren't on Dynamite. Not really a bad idea, but man, that's going to be a lot of wrestling to cover, especially if Dark and now if we have to watch Impact are both on Tuesday. That is a busy week. You have Monday Night Raw, then you have Impact and Dark on Tuesday, then you have AEW Dynamite and NXT on Wednesday, and then you have another episode of Dark on Thursday, and then you have SmackDown on Friday. Man, that is a lot. A lot of wrestling to cover. So, Impact Final Resolution is next Saturday. Interesting. That's right. They did have a pay-per-view coming out. That's right. Heath and Rhino versus Best Friends can be a good comedy match, but with some good action. I agree. Said multiple. Tony Khan said multiple, I believe maybe even a female Dark. I don't think I heard a female Dark. The one that I heard was a assigned one and then a local talent one, enhancement talent, whatever you want to call it. Can never have enough wrestling. Oh man, if it's good wrestling, I will agree with you. But man, sometimes on Monday and Friday, I am done. Literally just one of those 2-hour shows is enough for me to call it quits. Also, if you watch NXT UK on Thursday, that is right. That is another one. And I hear great things about NXT UK. Oh boy, I just don't have the time. MLW on Wednesday. I've heard great things about MLW. Ring of Honor is back. I have no idea what day Ring of Honor is on. And then NWA Power, or not NWA Power, they're calling it something else, but they're returning this week as well, I believe. It's insane. Don't you think AEW's second show is Impact? That would be interesting. That would be completely interesting if they like just rebranded it and they're like, this is AEW Impact. That'd be crazy. I don't think that's the case at all, but that would be crazy. What do I think about the Young Bucks segment? So yeah, I didn't actually get to cover this on my Instagram because of just chaos, but it's good. I like the Acclaimed. They seem great. I like TH2 as well. And I feel like TH2, we haven't seen a lot of them, probably mostly because of the pandemic and the lockdown and the travel ban and yada, yada, yada. But I do like TH2, so I will like to see that match next week. Ring of Honor is on Monday. Okay, interesting. EC3 is there. Yes, he is. I've seen his stuff. He's fighting one of the Briscoes, correct? On their pay-per-view. It's also really cool. Like EC3 is just kind of floating around, building people up and telling stories. I really like that a lot. The Acclaimed is a Street Profits knockoff? I wouldn't say that. They don't give me any sort of Street Profits vibe. Helico can be a great thing with the Navarro Deathlock. Yeah, I really like TH2. They're both fun. All the boner jokes were too much. Yeah, it was kind of like a WWE type rap skit, but I'm not too familiar with them. I've seen them on Dark, I think once or twice when I've caught it. And I like them. I think they're talented, and AEW's tag team division is crazy good. So I have faith. Max Caster used to wrestle at my local indie show, and he is so good. It's cool to see him in AEW. That's something really cool too that I like to see is, you know, all the indie people. There's a lot of people who have worked with these guys not too long ago too. So it's really cool to see them come up, and especially if you know them before. It's awesome. I just love seeing stuff like that. Max Caster was trained by Brian Myers. Oh, that is interesting. It's very interesting to find people, find out who people were trained by. Is Abadon taking the title from Shida? I don't think so. But it would be very interesting. Who on Dark should be featured more on Dynamite? I don't know, because like I said, I'm sorry, but I don't really watch Dark. I did know that Brian Myers trained MJF though. Yeah. Very cool to see how small the world is. Very cool. Okay. Anyways, we got to get back to the show. Oh, you know what? Okay. So that leads us to the women's match, right? So we got Britt Baker and Layla Hirsch, right? Who everyone is comparing her to Ronda Rousey, like a 3-foot tall Ronda Rousey or whatever. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. This match was good. I don't know about you guys, but I liked it. I think Britt Baker has come a long way. A very long way since her debut in AEW. You should do a Q&A segment. I know. I know. I think maybe we'll get through the show, and then if people want to talk about NXT, we'll do that, and then we'll do that too, depending on how long we go, because we're already at 35 minutes, which is crazy, because it doesn't feel like that. It's been that way, or been that long at all. Anyways, Britt Baker versus Layla Hirsch. Good match. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it all. Britt Baker's been doing very well. And, you know, it's kind of just a placeholder to throw in Thunder Rosa, which I love. I cannot wait to see Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but I'm very happy to see that. This feud between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa is that little great steps to improve AEW's women's division. Absolutely, I agree. And the thing is that they signed a bunch of people and then they don't use them. So I don't know if this is a thing where they're on Dark or not, because like I said, I don't watch. So is Diamante on Dark? Is Eva Lise on Dark? Is Serena Deeb on Dark a lot? I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. I don't know. I feel like they could be using them to tell a better story for the women's division, especially Big Swole. Where's Big Swole been? You know, she kind of had a feud with Britt and then just kind of disappeared a little bit. So, you know, I'd like to see these people a lot more and get some storytelling going and work on their women's division. It's probably the biggest critique that they have from everyone is that their women's division is so bad. But Swole's on Dark. Okay. Yeah, they mostly use Dark to get their record up. That's what it seems like, because I see people that have like a 20-0 record and I'm like, what? I haven't seen this person wrestle in like 2 months. Dark is a long show, so I would assume they are. Okay. I didn't know. How long is Dark? Like 2 hours? Longer than 2? If it was longer than 2 hours, that's going to be crazy. Much of them are on Dark. Okay, so maybe I should just shut up and watch Dark sometime. I don't know. Probably not, especially if I have to watch Impact now, because that is crazy. Cody also gaslights people who complain about the women's division. Does he? I'm not sure. I don't sound like Tony Khan. What the hell? Close to 2 hours. That's pretty long. But there's like 12 matches. Interesting. You know, I'll just have to watch one sometime. 1 hour with 13 to 14 matches. That sounds like a lot of matches for 1 hour. A lot of matches. Sounds like a lot of like weird short squash matches, or just like a bunch of 7-minute matches. I don't know. Dark is where I found out about Will Hobbs. Yeah, he seems to be the first one benefiting from the whole Dark thing, where they're on Dark and then they get promoted to Dynamite and then they're doing something good. But we'll get to Hobbs in just a minute. Even though Team Taz kind of got a little bit overshadowed tonight by a certain someone. Just a little bit. So anyways, Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa seems to be headed in a good direction. I'm very excited about it. Hopefully you guys are too. And hopefully it turns out to be great, because we need it. Their women's division has been bad this entire time. And hopefully they figure out something with Shida. I don't think it's going to be Abadon that takes the title off of her. Maybe it'll be the winner of the Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa feud. Maybe. I don't know. That would make sense to me, but I'm also not sure what they're going to do with Serena Deeb, because she is the NWA Women's World Champion. So they kind of have someone else's championship on their show as well. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. Do you think AEW can be the #1 wrestling show and have more power than WWE? No, I do not. At least not anytime soon. I think we've seen that Raw and SmackDown are at their core following right now at like 1.7, and I think SmackDown's at like 2.1. So I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Maybe though. We'll see in the future. And I don't think they need to, really. I'm more interested in seeing AEW be their own thing rather than trying to overtake WWE. I don't care. I just want to see everyone succeed. That's where I'm at with it. I don't think there can only be one. It has to be WWE, or it has to be AEW, or this one has to be better than this. Just worry about yourself. Put on the best show that you possibly can. And if you're doing so, then you'll be #1. I believe that. I really believe that. Thing with Dark, not all are essentially squash matches, though a big chunk is, but they are not your WWE squash matches. Yeah, that's what I believe I've seen, is that they kind of let the local talent people, or enhancement talent, whatever they are, the people that are not signed, it looks like they actually let them wrestle a little bit, which is really cool, because you can actually get to see someone like them, fall in love with their character, and see if they actually work with the people that you actually have signed, your roster. And if they do, then you can go ahead and sign them. If not, thank you. We appreciate everything you've done. Well, we'll be in contact. I want Baker to take the title off of Shida. I do too. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I originally said that Britt Baker should have been the first AEW Women's World Champion, and she should feud with what's her name? Her name is escaping me at the moment. Will Ospreay's girlfriend. I can't think of her name, but I wanted to see them feud with each other. I thought that would have been great. They had that feud going on anyways, so putting the belt on it would have been great. I would have liked that. I'm also wouldn't be mad at Thunder Rosa being the one to dethrone Shida. B. Priestley, that is, thank you, JTV. Thank you. That is correct. Warrior Nation, yes, thank you. I forgot the guy WWE signed from AEW Dark, but they had a really great match with Lee Johnson. Hopefully someone will remind me. I'm not sure what his name is, but I don't know if this is the same instance, but I had heard that it might have been Will Hobbs, but someone was on Dark, and like the night that it aired, so like on Tuesday night, they got a call from WWE, and they were trying to sign him, which is pretty funny. Ben Carter, yes, that's the name. Ben Carter, yep. They should have Rosa win back the NWA Women's Championship and have Britt win the AEW Women's Championship, then title versus title. That'd be an interesting concept. Title for title, as in the, like, they're going to be united into one. I guess they couldn't do that because it's a whole other promotion. A champion versus champion match, I guess, would be fine. I don't want to see someone in their company holding two titles, especially since they're kind of limited with their titles to begin with. WWE contacted Eddie Kingston after his AEW debut. Yes, that's who I'm thinking of. Eddie Kingston. Nailed it. Fun fact, John Silver and Alex Reynolds were jobbers at a SmackDown show I went to. That's funny. It seems like a lot of people started that way. Double champion, not unified. Yeah, I would like to see, since they don't really have much for their women, I would like to see them use it to their advantage instead of having someone hold both of them, if that makes sense. Kind of giving more story to people, give someone else something to fight with. That is, if they're going to keep the NWA Women World Championship thing on their show. I don't even know why it's there to begin with. It's like, it made sense when Thunder Rosa was signed and she had it, but Serena Deeb is not signed to NWA. So I don't know. AEW should hire New Jack. Oh God. Dang, WWE knows who to contact. They just want to sign anyone and everyone. I mean, if you haven't noticed, that's what they've done ever since the inception of AEW. Sign anyone and everyone. We don't care. We'll pay you whatever you need to, and we'll just pay you to sit at home, essentially. That's the reason why the Good Brothers got laid off, fired, furloughed, whatever you want to call it, released. They were making so much money, and they weren't worth it to them. And that happened for a lot of people. Genesis, but Sting's new logo looks like the Punisher. Yeah, a little bit. I say to hell with the Impact partnership and get some of the Stardom girls. That'd be good for them. I thought a New Japan partnership would have been great. It probably would have benefited them more, both parties. And I guess I could talk about that in a little bit as well. Takeover before. I have a great idea for you. So unless there's a takeover for every 5, depending on how you feel, you review a past pay-per-view of the show that is coming up. Thank you for the suggestion, Exotic. That's something that I've actually kind of thought about doing, was doing a retro review or something. It probably wouldn't happen on YouTube. But I was thinking about doing more so of a watch along type deal. So that's something that would have to be done on Discord if done. But we'll get to that after we do this and see how this goes. We still have to finish the very first show. We got to get through the first one. Okay, let's move on here to the thing that everyone wanted to talk about. Sting. He's here. I made my AEW debut tonight. AEW Sting is All Elite. What an incredible moment. And this was the moment, obviously, that the show just changed completely. This was a huge moment. Absolutely huge. Sting and AEW. Wow. Like, a lot of people have been begging for Sting for quite a while. At the past couple of debuts, you know, people are like, where's Sting? I thought it was Sting. Where's Sting? Man, I did not see it happening. I did not think that the debut tonight was going to be Sting. I thought it was going to be Kenta. I really did. I thought it was going to be Kenta. And that's why I decided to be a smartass and make a post saying that this is Hideo Itami. Because I knew calling him Hideo Itami would irritate people. And they'd be like, that's Kenta. You don't know.
You don't know who that is. That's Kenta. That's not Hideo Itami. Oh, I'm so angry.
Like, get out of here. But no, I wasn't able to pull over a fast one. I lost. So, but I mean, did you really lose? Because Sting made his debut. You thought it was Shaq? Oh, man. Dude, if it was Shaq, I would have turned off my TV. I would have went to bed. Like, I'm so done. Having Shaq, like a whole entire winter themed pay-per-view just for Shaq to make a debut. God, I would hate AEW for that so much. The soundboard, yes. Here you go, some Ric Flairs for you. Actually, I'm not quite sure you can hear those or not. Let's see here. This can set a passing of the torch moment between Sting and Darby. That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. The stare down between Darby and Sting was incredible. Absolutely incredible. My only complaint about the entire segment is that they did not capture the painted side of Darby's face. Those pictures or those shots would have been so much cooler, in my opinion, had they would have caught the painted side of Darby's face. It would have been so cool. So cool. No, he's not Sting, but you know, I mean, I don't think people really compare them. Maybe they do because of the face paint, but we still don't even really know what they're gonna do with Sting. Is he gonna wrestle? Are they gonna go WWE and they're gonna have like a Cody, Darby Allin, and Sting versus Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks? Are they gonna six-man us? But not to forget that Dustin Rhodes was out there too. So I don't know. It was very exciting to see Sting debut. I had no idea. And I'm actually surprised that I didn't see someone mention this or post about this. So I was actually legit shocked. I did not see this coming. I had absolutely no clue. Absolutely insane. But yeah, so he is supposed to be talking on Dynamite next week. So I guess we'll find out why he's here. Maybe he's here to manage. I don't know. And the interesting thing to note about this too is that when he came out, he didn't fight anyone. He went straight up to Arn, stared him dead in the eye. Like a pissed off look, if you ask me. Then he went over to Cody. He even like kneeled down, didn't he? He like kneeled down, looked him straight in the face. And then he went over and had like the ultimate stare down with Darby. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect. They won the match, so it's not like he can be like, oh, I'm disappointed in you. Yada, yada, yada. So I don't know. Hopefully he'll give us a good answer next week. But man, can we just appreciate how awesome the visual was? The whole winter is coming theme with the war is here. And then you have like the wintry Titantron to open it up. And then it's literally snowing when this man walks out. Snowing. And on top of it, he has awesome music. It's not even like generic Darkman 07. He has cool, epic music. It wasn't absolutely love it. And if you didn't get to hear it very well, they actually released the song already. It's on AEW's Bandcamp or whatever. So if you have a Twitter account and you want to hear it, go over to AEW's Twitter and scroll down a little bit and you can find it. It's really good. Really good. Will Sting pull a Goldberg and win the championship? No. God, no. Please save us. I feel like that is the complete opposite thing of why AEW even exists. That is certainly way more of a WWE thing. I do not want to see that. I do not hope that happens. And you know what? It's not even like a question. No, there's no way that Sting is going to beat Kenny Omega. There's no way. And also, I don't see Sting beating Darby Allin and becoming the TNT champion either. I don't see anything like that happening. Don't mention Goldberg in here, please. Yeah. My thoughts exactly. Man, I can't stand Goldberg anymore. No worries, James. All conversation, man. All conversation. I just don't see them doing that. I think that is completely against what they're doing. A lot of them have talked down towards WWE for doing the Brock Lesnar stuff over and over again. So I think it would be very hypocritical to do something similar. And that goes for just the TNT championship as well. I don't want to see Sting holding a championship. I don't want to see Sting really doing much, to be honest. Tanver says Sting is 60 years old. So yeah, no thanks. You know, maybe if they build up to something and it's a big one and done, sure. If he's just going to manage people, sure. I'm down for that. I don't know. I don't want to turn on my TV every Wednesday and watch Sting wrestle being 60 years old. I have absolutely no interest in that. And that doesn't take anything away from his career or his legend status or him being a Hall of Famer or an icon or anything. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. There comes a time where it's maybe not necessarily time to hang it up, but maybe to be there for other people, help elevate other people. You can elevate people without wrestling them. Just being there, you can do it. It's very possible. Very, very possible. And another thing, Sting doesn't need to be built up for 8 weeks to lose to someone to put him over. You know what I mean? Sting can lose in a match. He's 60 years old, for God's sakes, especially if it's someone young like Darby Allin. And they just kind of use it as like a catapult to put him over a little bit. But other than that, yeah, one and done. One and done. He could do some cool, creepy segments, I guess. He could be a mentor for Darby. Maybe not necessarily a full-on manager, but he could play kind of like an Arn role, which I guess you could argue as a manager. But Arn, you know, he does the plays. He's got the little laminated paper with him. He's calling the shots, you know, maybe something like that. A mentor who's been through the ropes, who's done it all, seen it all, been in the business for God knows how long. Something like that could be interesting. Could be very interesting. Have multiple matches. Have you seen Sting as a special guest here? Will I have Sting as a special guest here? Jared, I would love to have Sting as a special guest. Sting, you're welcome to come anytime and be a special guest. Although it would be weird to have two Stings on one show, because I am also Sting myself. Triple beat Sting at Mania so he can come to AEW. Just like Taz, Arn, Tully, and Jake. Yes, Jake is a perfect example. And the thing with him too is he's so good on the mic. Jake the Snake Roberts, so good on the mic. That man, he's like Eddie Kingston to me. Like, he could literally do and say anything and it just sounds good. Billy Gunn wants to tag with his kids. That's why he's still wrestling. Yeah, see, in Jeremiah, I think that's a perfect reason. Same for Mysterio, even though, you know, I wouldn't say maybe he's in the same category as Billy Gunn, or obviously Sting. But, you know, I see something like that as a big reason to still be wrestling, especially if you can actually go. Imposter Sting, yes. Imposter Sting is the one that debuted tonight on AEW. Since the Impact has taped their show up to Hard to Kill, do you think Kenny will show up in person or not? So the thing with a taped show is that they can just pipe in whatever they want, whenever they want. Just because something's pre-taped doesn't mean that it can't be edited, you know, or anything like that. So they can definitely pipe something in and, you know, film it from elsewhere, not in the ring, or they could just go to the ring and do it too, and just have a quick filming segment. Top 5 talkers in AEW? Absolutely. Brock Lesnar or Cena would break the business. If they debuted in AEW, that would be absolutely insane. Brock Lesnar is a free agent, by the way. I certainly don't see either one of them making that jump, but that would be absolutely insane. Billy Gunn is still in very damn good shape for his age. Absolutely. Absolutely. AEW can't ever get The Undertaker. Yeah, I mean, you know, The Undertaker is a WWE product. And he said it multiple times himself that he's super thankful to Vince because he gave him a shot when no one else would. He took a risk in The Undertaker. The Undertaker is a Vince McMahon creation, and he's a lifer. And I think it should be that way anyways. I certainly don't want to see The Undertaker anywhere else. I don't want to see Biker Marq anywhere else. Like I don't want to see that. No thanks. You think they can bring back X Cup? Is that an Impact thing? Do you feel John should have held it until Revolution? No, I think this was fine. I think this is fine. And I guess I'll talk about that in just a second. I want to wrap this up and move on to the next thing here. Warrior. Yeah, I mean, I was talking even like pre-retirement before. And plus, you know, like who would want to ruin their like lifer WWE contract when they're done and they're signed as a legend and they don't have to do anything? I'll wrestle twice. I've never stepped in a ring before, and I'll wrestle once a year for $12 million. Gotta do it for way less. Okay. Are we going to talk about how Moxley got screwed? Yes, we are. So let's go ahead and move on. To summarize, Sting was absolutely amazing. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I was shocked. So let's go ahead and move on. And if I didn't mention it, or if someone didn't mention it in the comments and I skipped over it, Tony Khan has signed Sting to a multi-year deal. So probably not going to be wrestling, but he will be there for a while. So that is good to know. Next up, we had a backstage segment with Hikaru Shida. I don't remember what was said. I think because I was still dying and still trying to post over the fact that Sting was in AEW. Or I'm sorry, I was in AEW making my debut. But essentially at the end, she said she's not afraid of Abadon. And one of the huge missed opportunities here is having Abadon be in the background in some creepy ass spot. Kind of like the picture I posted a couple days ago, where it was just a picture of like Hikaru Shida. She was like posing or something after a match or whatever. And the door was open all the way. And inside the little crack, it was super dark. And you could just see Abadon standing behind it. It was crazy. It's so creepy. So creepy. And I absolutely love it. I wish that's kind of the route that WWE would have went with The Fiend. Kind of terrorizing people in the back and stuff like that. But man, it would have been so cool to have Abadon just kind of in the background, especially if she was like gushing blood from her mouth or something. That would have been really cool. That would have been really cool. I would have loved to have seen that. I'm not sure what to look for in this Hikaru Shida and Abadon feud. I'm not really familiar with Abadon other than seeing her on Dark once. I think I saw her on Dark once, and then I think she was on Dynamite once, right? If I remember correctly, she was on Dynamite once. Abadon versus Su Yung would be an awesome dream match. And hey, that is actually on the table now. That is on the table. Abadon actually scares me. Absolutely. She is terrifying. She's actually like, you know, like you have those like scary, like The Undertaker, he's supposed to be scary, but he's like cool. And then you have The Fiend, who's like some weird psycho murder clown, but he's cool. Like Abadon is just literally terrifying. literally terrifying. It is insane. And especially when she was like crawling out and stuff like that and spitting the blood out of her mouth. Man, it's unreal. That's unreal scary. I wish someone would like me, like Abadon licking the... What? Why did I read that? God damn it. Abadon squashed Anna Jay on Dynamite. Yeah, I was talking about before that one, though, Brandon. She was on there once before, right? I think. Have you noticed the fans are starting to boo John? Are they? Really? I didn't notice. I didn't notice that. I'll have to go back and listen again. I haven't noticed that. What was up with Matt Hardy getting booed a lot tonight? Merchandise Productions. I don't know if you watch BTE or anything, but they've been running segments, and I guess even Matt Hardy just on Twitter has been I guess he created this new character where he is like the greatest in the world, and he's like the inventor of everything. He's like the main guy of everything. He's the one that made tag team wrestling famous. He's the guy that essentially, if you're doing anything in wrestling right now, you should be thankful for him, because he's the one that paved the way for you. No matter what you are, who you're doing, or anything, he paved the way. So I would assume that is why people are booing Matt Hardy, unless maybe he at that point was trying to eliminate someone that they didn't want eliminated. They booed him when he was throwing chairs in the ring. Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second. Moxley is the biggest face badass in Stone Cold. Fight me. I don't think you're wrong. Actually, at the moment. Actually, I hated Matt tonight. He threw out Hangman and Long John Silver. So, yeah, definitely Matt Hardy catching the boost for throwing out Silver and Hangman. Two fan favorites. Damn, I have to watch Being the Elite more often now. Absolutely. I would highly recommend watching BTE. It's great. They're usually only like 10 or 15 minutes long for the most part, and they have some fun stuff. They have a BTE championship thing going on right now. The title is ugly as all hell. Probably one of my least favorite titles I've ever seen in my life. But no, that's not true. Because the 24/7 championship exists and the AEW Women's Championship exists, and I hate those belts as well. But anyways, the BTE championship, they won it. They had like a mini golf tournament backstage. And then they had like a hot chip eating contest, and the winner got to face John Silver for it. And then him and Trent did like a mustard throwing thing. It's just kind of funny, just good fun. It's the thing that I like about BTE the most is that it's just fun. It's just people passionate about what they're doing, being able to make a living of what they're doing, and they're just kind of having fun. They're in a fun environment. They're able to hang out with their friends and do fun things, and it's not stressful. Stuff like that really, I really enjoy seeing, especially not to go off too far off topic, but the WWE Mixed Match Challenge was one of my favorite things that WWE has done. Just because it was fun. Like, they were allowed to be themselves. They were allowed to do things that they weren't allowed to do on TV. Stuff like that, like AJ Styles doing the Ric Flair woos and dancing and just being goofy, stuff like that. I really like just being able to see people be themselves and have fun while doing what they love. That's what I really like. Sammy vlogs, I haven't seen those yet, but I did see that he pulled a prank on them with the BTE title, because that was on BTE as well. BTE title versus the 24/7 title, which is better overall? The BTE championship, 100%. I cannot stand the 24/7 title now. I hate its very existence. The championship is ugly. It doesn't look good. I don't like the green strap on it, and I don't like how they've been running back the same exact thing for a year now. Like, they've just been more than a year, probably. They've just been doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So it's kind of disappointing, and I'm kind of over it. Anyways, moving on to the main event. Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Championship against the cleaner Kenny Omega. Big fight feel for this match. I was very hyped for this match. What do you guys think? Did it live up to your hype? Did the match live up to your standards? What were you expecting? Were you expecting Kenny Omega to be the victorious one, to walk out with the AEW World Championship? I was. I certainly knew that he was going to be the one walking out. Here's what I like the most about this match. You have someone like Kenny Omega, right? Who is arguably one of the best wrestlers in the entire world. And you're super excited. They hype you up for weeks. Weeks now. The cleaner, he's back. Those 8-star classics that I put on with Okada, they're back. So they did put on a good match tonight, but he cheated. He cheated. He had Don Callis cause a distraction, and he picked up the microphone and popped Jon Moxley right between the eyes with it and busted him open. And this is what I talk about every single week. Things like this can be very meaningful, but they can't happen all the time. They have to happen sparingly, because when they do happen, you say, you know what? That makes sense. I'm not mad at that. So not only do they give you a good match, it may not have been that 60 minute banger that you were expecting with Kenny and Okada, but they still put on a good match. And then at the very end, he cheats, hits him with a one-winged angle. Jesus. A one-winged angel, and then dips. Just leaves. Runs out of the building like a little, prissy heel. That's what you love to see when it happens so sparingly. Now, if this were to happen on AEW TV every single match, every single week, it would have been like, wow, really? This is what they did? I've seen that 4 times this show already. But they don't really do that on Dynamite or AEW in general. So it was very, very cool. I loved to see it. It's kind of like a big slap in the face from Kenny Omega, and I really like that. I've seen people spell angel like angle, but goddamn, I've never heard anyone say that wrong. Well, there you go. Have fun with that one. Botchamania. There you go. The one-winged angle. You love to see it. It's a reference to Michael Jordan. Oh, okay. I see. Kenny's a heel, plus it keeps Mox strong because Kenny had to cheat to get the upper hand. That's what I like about it too. I like it because you know that you have these two guys that could go forever. And they wrestled in they were saying 33-degree weather. So, hey, I'm not mad at it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I was expecting Kenny Omega to walk out as the champion anyways. So I loved it. Yeah, you can tell Kenny's finisher is so protected that when he hits it, you know it's over. You know it. That's the thing too. Not to go off on a tangent here, but if you guys think about it, right? What are these moves? They're called finishers, right? A finishing move should end the match, right? So finishers should be, for the most part, protected, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I don't think you need to hit someone with 4 finishers, because then it's not really a finisher. So I really like that they protect the one-winged angel. I really like it. And the fact that I really thought that Jon Moxley was going to kick out of it, to be honest. I thought that was going to be the big thing where it was like, no one kicks out of it. That's the end, right? And I thought he was going to kick out just right at the very end. And that would have been a huge deal. That would have been a huge deal. So in this case, the Bulldog Lock is the finisher of Mox. I would say so. I would say so. And it's devastating. That's what a finisher should be. It should be devastating. It's called a finisher. A finish. The end. Done. Where it's over. So, and I love the visual of the Bulldog Choke too. It's great. AEW finishers over WWE finishers. Yes, but also Baron Corbin has a very protected finisher as well. No one kicks out of the end of days. I think it's been quite a while since someone's done it. Who has kicked out? I don't think anyone has. Maybe Okada. Let's see. Has anyone kicked out? Wow, that actually was populated on Google when I searched it. Wow, it has not been. No. So, okay. So that's a lie. Kota Ibushi did kick out of it one time back in DDT Pro or whatever. But yeah, no one has kicked out of the one-winged angel. The Judas effect. No one has kicked out of the Judas effect. This is according to What Culture, by the way. This little thing I'm going through really quick. Ronda Rousey's armbar. The Razor's Edge. The Black Arrow, which is Pac's finish. Pac, whatever the hell you want to call him. The Death Rider, which is Jon Moxley's paradigm shift, but in New Japan. So no one's kicked out of that in New Japan either. And, oh my God. Number one is John Cena's Lightning Fist. So there you go. There's some protected finishers that no one has ever kicked out of. Brody kicked out of it once in NXT. The Punk kick. No one has ever kicked out of the Claymore. Are you sure? Are you sure no one's kicked out of the Claymore before? Remember when Hangman did it to one of the Young Bucks and they had to break it up? That's how you know it's protected. Yes. Yes. Has anyone kicked out of the Black Mass? I would assume so. I wasn't on that list, but Brock did what? Kicked out of which finisher? Oh, the Claymore. Is that, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about? What I don't get is why would Tony tease the match would go over TV time and it did not? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure either. I think maybe just to give that big fight feel. And was just like, hey, that's the thing that I like about AEW is that they're like, we're going to have a finish, period, no matter what. So I think it was more so on that. Maybe he was just lying and never even talked to them about it and just said it because he knew they weren't going over. I don't know. But I like to see that. And I think what they dedicated like almost 30 minutes to it. So not bad at all. The most protected finisher at the moment is a surprise roll-up. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Jesus. That's like the Monday and Friday night special right there. Just cannot kick out of that. All right, so the question that everyone wants to talk about, right? At the very end of the show, Kenny Omega wins and becomes the AEW World Champion, and he runs out of the building with Don Callis. Impact's Don Callis. And guess what? He said, we'll explain ourselves, or Kenny will explain himself on Tuesday. Kenny will explain himself on Tuesday. My first thought was, why is Kenny going to be on Dark? Why is Kenny Omega going to be on AEW Dark? And then I was like, holy shit, that's Don Callis. They're going to Impact. Wow. So there you have it. The AEW Impact partnership. And this can give us a ton of beautiful matches. They did this so subtly too. Callis was only out for Kenny's big matches and only Kenny's. Exactly. And the thing too is that you didn't think anything of it because he was in that other big match for him doing commentary. So you just figured, hey, okay, so he's not here for Impact business. He's here for Kenny business. And boy, were we shocked to find out that that wasn't quite true. You need to Wrestle Talk because your reviews are top notch. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Chloe. I thank you. Thank you very much. It's been going good. It's like an hour and 16 minutes in the first show. I couldn't be happier about it. Couldn't be happier. Thank all of you guys for being here as well. Let's see here. Damn, I don't have Access TV. Can you still watch Impact on Twitch? I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can watch Impact on Twitch still. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. As someone who has never considered watching Impact, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I know. Watching Impact, like, for me, I've tried to watch Impact a couple of times. I've picked pay-per-views to start at just because I figured that would be the best that they have to offer. And I think it was Slammiversary that I watched and covered recently. Special thanks to and shout out to Joel from Fight TV for always being there, providing the codes and helping you guys get codes as well. It's super awesome of them. I really appreciate that. And hopefully you guys too. And I would like to work with them more in the future on doing other things like that so we can have other pay-per-views. But Slammiversary, it was great. It was really good. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Impact. And I think I watched, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And it just wasn't for me. Impact for me, I feel like something's missing from their production. And I don't know what it is. It's not crowds and it's not like crowd noise. It's just something else. It just feels like there's something missing and I can't quite put my finger on it. But yeah, I'll be tuning in on Tuesdays. So if you guys don't want to tune in, don't worry. I will be there to cover it, at least for now. I'm not sure if that's something that I'll be doing forever going forward. It really depends on what their partnership actually looks like as well. Because if we have, how long is Impact? 2 hours? If we have a 2-hour Impact and they're just going to show me a 4-minute promo from Kenny, yeah, I'm not really going to sit there and watch it. So, sorry. So we'll see. I'll watch it this Tuesday and see what happens, and we'll go from there. I'm sure it'll probably start off slow and sweet, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they'll do an invasion angle. Really don't know what to expect, to be honest. But I will cover it. We'll see where it goes, and then adjust accordingly afterwards. What a ratings boost for Impact. Absolutely. Impact is going to get a huge rating boost. And Impact's ratings, I don't want to be disrespectful here. But I think Impact's ratings are so low that they don't even get reported. I don't think that's even a thing that happens. I don't think people know how many people watch it. I think they kind of guess. Let's see here. Impact has a really good roster, though. They do. They have a really good roster, but it was just the segments that weren't doing it for me. The Wrestle House stuff, man, I hated that. That wasn't very good. That took up a lot of time. And I forgot that sometimes they do the old pay-per-view segment things too, and I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I'm happy to see the Good Brothers there though, and I'm happy to see Deonna Purrazzo there doing very well because I'm a huge Deonna Purrazzo fan, and she's there doing what she should have been doing in WWE. She is women's champion material, and she puts on great matches, and she looks like a champion. She acts like a champion. She fits in very, very well there. I watched Impact when Jeff and Matt were wrestling, but I didn't watch much after that. Yeah. I didn't really watch it then. I did go back and watch all the broken stuff from them. From time to time when I'm up working really late, I will fire up Twitch and I'll just watch some Impact stuff. They had like a Samoa Joe stuff on there yesterday that I was watching for a little bit. Let's see here. Am I covering Hard to Kill? I don't know. When is Hard to Kill? When is Impact Hard to Kill? Hard to Kill, January 12th. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I guess, yes. Unless something crazy happens where, oh wait, that's this year. Hard to Kill 2021. Wait, when is it? Impact Hard to Kill. So it must be next year, right? At the beginning of next year? Oh, January 16th, 2021. So yeah, I guess we'll probably be watching unless the whole AEW partnership is just kind of a sham. It doesn't really work out. I'll try to reach out to Fight TV and see if we can't put something together for Hard to Kill. So yes, but kind of to be determined, I guess. WWE has the sports entertainment feel, and AEW is kind of like that more gritty, realistic feeling. So maybe they're lacking identity. Maybe, I guess, maybe. I mean, they seem to kind of have the sports entertainment and the actual sports gritty aspect of it. They have a lot of talented people there, and the Wrestle House stuff was very gimmicky entertainment stuff. And they just ran like a murder investigation angle, didn't they? And you know what? They didn't even have the audacity to call me. Wow. Unreal. Detective AOW was not on the case. So very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I would have solved it just like that in an instant. Just like that. Okay. So I think we ran through the show tonight. You know? That's pretty much it. I mean, I guess you could say what's next for Jon Moxley. What do you guys think is next for Jon Moxley? Does he come back? Does he come back to try to reclaim his championship from Kenny Omega? Does he disappear from TV? Does he get attacked by Kenta next week? Who attacked Kenny Omega? Makes you think. Makes you think. He might be taking some time off. Detective AEW is too good for them. Yeah, Impact can't afford the Detective AEW rates. That's probably why they didn't call me. They probably called the hotline, and before they got to Extension 1, they heard some rates, and they were like, oh, nah. Never mind, we'll solve it ourselves. Detective AEW is really the best of all time. It is. You know, some promotion should hire me, and I'll just be like some dude that stands in the background, and I will just solve everyone's problems. Like in a weird fashion. Like I'll just be in catering eating, and someone will be like, oh man, someone stole my phone. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that was Rhino. He stole your phone. Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Someone attacked me from behind. Oh, yeah, that was Kenny Omega. He attacked you from behind. Just kind of nonchalant, just know it all, answer everything right off the top of the head. Bam. Even when it's not asked for. Probably wrote him off for Renee, though. That is probably the best answer for this. He could be taking some time off. They might have a little bit of thing before he takes off. I'm not quite sure how far along she is. I don't think anyone's mentioned that before. How far along is Renee? Yes, I'm not sure. If anyone knows, please feel free to let us know. Anyone else still undefeated in AEW? No. Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. Oh man, and that sucks because I had a post that I made that I was going to post today, but I forgot. It is The Undertaker laying in the ring with the TV thing overhead saying 21-1, and put Jon Moxley's head over him because they have the exact same statistics at that time. 21-1. Detective AEW, I knew you were the hacker that exposed Otis and Mandy. Man, they should have gave me the Hacker Man gimmick. I would have loved to be the Hacker Man. That would have been so cool. So cool. Hacker Man 5000 is definitely one of my favorite WWE gimmicks that I've seen in a while. Let's see. My guess, either Mox takes a few weeks off, then shows up in New Japan for his match with Kenta, or he shows up in AEW to address his loss, and Kenta also appears. Kenta appearing on AEW TV now would be absolutely insane, considering that they just kind of did the Impact partnership. So I don't know if they'll... AEW working with Impact and New Japan would be insane. Like in a real working relationship, not just Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley. That would be absolutely insane. Tony Khan said that Jon Moxley is not going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm not sure if that's true or not, though. Because if you don't remember, Jon Moxley is still their IWGP United States champion. So he's got to defend the title at some point. And when he was sick the last time, they actually stripped him of the title. And I'm really shocked that they haven't done so far with that. Maybe the pandemic and the travel ban is playing a role in that, but I'm not quite sure. Detective AEW knows what little Jimmy looks like. Detective AEW knows absolutely everything in this world. Absolutely everything. What are your thoughts on NXT? In what area are they lacking in? Maybe better scouting. Either way, that has to be addressed soon. NXT has started to feel more main roster in some ways to me. And not all the time, because don't get me wrong, not AEW, NXT still has some amazing content. They still have amazing matches. They still have an amazing roster there. It's just that like the whole Cameron Grimes spoopy stuff that's been happening for 4 weeks, it's like that's a Raw segment to me, and I think Cameron Grimes would excel on Raw. He's one of those guys that can get away with goofy. Like we were talking about earlier, if you were here for Chris Jericho can get away with goofy. The Viking Raiders cannot get away with goofy. Cameron Grimes can get away with goofy. Oh, is my internet crapping out? Uh-oh. No, it's fine. I'm in the red, though. I'm in the red on my stream. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. That's my problem with NXT, and I feel like their sole purpose at this time is just to counter AEW. I mean, it's just kind of what it feels like right now. The Leon Ruff stuff is exactly what I'm talking about. It feels main rostery. I don't like it at all. And that's not to say that he's not talented. That's not to take anything away from him. It's just not for me. It's not for me. Since MLW is on Wednesdays and it's 1 hour, why not cover MLW? The reason is because I want to, well, if it's on Wednesdays, absolutely not, because Dynamite and NXT are already like kill me on Wednesdays. But I like to be able to like go out and do things. I don't like to be just trapped. Oh, it appears YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Okay, I think it's good now. I think we're good. But yeah, I like to be able to like go do things, go to the store, go to anything other than just be at home watching wrestling. So that's why I kind of tend to not cover things on Tuesdays and like Dark and MLW and Ring of Honor and whatever else you can think of, Impact. That's why, because I just like to get out and do some things with my fiance when we have the chance, since we're tied home on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And for me, I'm on the West Coast, so it's kind of inconvenient because it starts at 5. Like Raw starts at 5 and ends at 8, so it kind of takes up that whole like night thing. So we can't really go out and do stuff for that. If Kenta comes to AEW, does that mean other Bullet Club members will appear soon after? That's what I was thinking. My whole thing was the war is coming. I thought that we were going to see some sort of Bullet Club thing, at least with Kenta at first, is what I thought. But that didn't happen. It was Impact and Sting, but still great. Still great. When will Gargano and Ciampa get called up? Well, they've already been called up at one point, but I don't know what happened there. Not anymore. Ciampa does not want to go to the main roster. He said he would rather retire than do that. I'm probably pretty sure he still feels that way because the product on Monday and Friday is garbage. Absolute garbage. Warrior Nation says certain segments only work with certain wrestlers, and I really, really, really wish more people would understand that. I really do, because that's the truth. And I've said it multiple times now. Chris Jericho can do literally anything he wants, and he can get away with it because he's funny and he's Chris Jericho, and that's just who he is. Imagine watching the Dead Man, The Undertaker, undefeated in WrestleMania, and he's eating turkey legs and bowling and fighting ninjas. Like, that doesn't work, man. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. How do you find these cool nicknames for wrestlers like Uncle Ziggy, Father Rollins, Cool Guy Rollins, and the Foot Clan? Uncle Ziggy, I'm not sure about Uncle Robin Ziggy. I don't quite remember how that one came about. Cool Guy Seth Rollins was because one of the fans had a sign that said Seth Rollins is not cool. And there's a picture of Seth Rollins like standing in front of it, and he just looks ungodly depressed over it. So I thought it was funny, the Cool Guy Seth Rollins. I think he had a shirt too, didn't he? Father Rollins, just because he's a Messiah, he's our leader. I am the keeper of truth, and Father Rollins is the great leader. I call Retribution the Foot Clan because that's what Big E called them in a backstage segment, and I thought it was very funny. So that's why I call them that. And I call Dominic Dijakovic, or T-Bar, Donovan Dickhead, because that is what Kenny Omega called him in a video, and I think that is hilarious. You shall be trapped in endless loop of wrestling. That is right, Jeremiah. And I do not want that. I do not want that. What is your favorite pay-per-view of 2020 and why? AEW's recent pay-per-view was my favorite one, I think. Full Gear and Revolution were absolutely solid pay-per-views, and I'm going to go with those. Those are my favorite. How would I improve Monday and Friday? I think that is a topic for a different day, because we are over, like, we're an hour and 35 minutes in, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here in a minute. We will talk about that. I do plan on doing this more often. And, I mean, with the amount of questions, maybe we should do a Q&A one, where I'll just sit here for like an hour and just answer whatever pops up on the screen or something. We could do that maybe on a Sunday instead of doing it on the stories. I'll just sit here with you guys and chat or something. Something along those lines. We'll do that. And I do want to make some videos on some other things. If I have enough time, I'm going to try to make an NXT TakeOver War Games predictions video and have that up maybe Saturday or so. That will be a lot of fun. We could do those. I've been wanting to do those for a long time, but I got contracted for a huge thing that I was doing for work, and then we were buying a house and everything. So it was very, very difficult to get all that stuff done. And I really wanted to focus on being consistent. So it was very important for me to pick a time where I'm able to do it and then execute it every week. I didn't want to do it and then be like, hey, not going to be here next week. Not going to be here 2 weeks from now either, because, you know, I got this going on. So I want to make sure that I can be very consistent. So I will be doing this often. I'm going to start off doing it on every show. So hopefully, if everything goes good, I still have to make the assets and stuff because I'm doing all of this myself. So like all the stuff you're seeing on the screen right now, I've created like today or yesterday. So I need to make some WWE ones for SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. We didn't even get a chance to talk about NXT tonight. So maybe we could do that on Thursdays or something. I'm not sure. So let me get through a couple more of these questions here. That killed the Viking Raiders. They used to be intimidating. I agree. They pushed the Viking Raiders forever for like 16 months, I swear. And then they were just like eating turkey legs and bowling. And it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. What is the beef with Humberto Carrillo? Well, you see, he's a criminal and he belongs in jail with all the other criminals. That's all I have to say. This he owes me an apology. He beat me up one day. He stole my Lunchable, and then he took my phone and he left a bunch of terrible WWE pay-per-view predictions on my Instagram page. I'll never forgive him. I will never forgive him. He owes me $1.99 for Lunchable, at least, before I will even entertain the fact or the thought of forgiving him. When is your match against Humberto Carrillo going to happen? Never, because he doesn't deserve to be in the ring against me. So never. Sorry to disappoint you. Your prediction for the 2021 Royal Rumble winner. Big E and Bianca Belair are my current predictions. I'm sure that will change as we get closer because we'll be able to kind of see the narrative of what happens or what's going on. Sometimes after Raw, I feel bad for you because Raw sucks and you have to go to work the next day. And I think, what the fuck did I just watch? Yeah, Raw really sucks. Sometimes, most of the time it really sucks. But luckily for me, I work for myself and Raw ends at 8. And I'm usually up until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning anyways. So for me, I work late at night anyways. I usually start working around 10 p.m. my time. And I'll work until about 2 or 3. And then I'm done. So it's not too bad for me other than the pain that it takes for me to sit there and watch it. Q&A would be awesome. Yes, I will 100% get that going at some point. You're super talented and you will go far. Thank you, Clayton. I appreciate you and the kind words. That means a lot. I'm actually like, I love you guys for tonight. This was amazing. We had like 130 people here at the beginning or something like that. And almost 2 hours of me just yapping. And you guys are here. So I really appreciate that. And I will continue to do this going forward and bring more content. It's a lot of fun. I love doing this wrestling stuff. It's something that I've always been very passionate about. And it's kind of cool to take it to a different level and be creative with it. That's why sometimes on like Mondays and stuff, it's kind of like Humberto's a criminal and Uncle Rob and Ziggy. It's like just trying to entertain myself and you guys for sitting through all of this garbage. Would you collaborate with another podcast? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I've had a couple of people reach out to me about it before, and I'm 100% down to do it. I don't care if you have 0 listeners or 10,000 listeners. I'm more than happy if any of you guys have a podcast. Please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram in my DMs. And I'm, like I said, I'm more than happy to jump on like a Discord call with you or something and talk some wrestling if you have some talking points or whatever. Absolutely hit me up. Anyone. That's totally fine. WWE needs to 1, bring back 2-hour Raw. 2, bring back GMs. 3, get a new creative team. And 4, push the guys fans want to push. I agree with almost all of that. A 2-hour Raw, absolutely. Bring back the GMs, yes. In a William Regal fashion, though. At least for now. I would like to, I mean, they kind of have it with Adam Pearce, but he's just like, they just say he's a WWE official, but it's like, what gives you the right to do this? Or like, who's telling you to make these matches? Or like, who gave you the power to make these matches? So I would really like to see someone just be like, hey, you know what? We're going to have this match. I can make it because I'm the GM. It is what it is. So I would really like to see that. New creative team, absolutely. I read a post today about a lot of people being upset with Bruce Pritchard and having them not be used on TV. So things could get very interesting, and there's some problems with Aleister Black going on right now as well. Obviously, of course, his wife, Zelina Vega, got released because of the whole Twitch thing. And also, he's not happy and he wants to go to NXT. So I'm assuming that is a problem as well. So we'll see how that goes. Push the guys fans want to push. I mean, you can only do that so much because fans are very, very, very fickle, as Daniel Bryan will tell you. Otis was one of the most popular guys ever. And everyone said, protect him at all costs. Otis is the future. He needs to do anything and everything, like he's the greatest. And then he won Money in the Bank and everyone's like, Otis sucks. We should give the Money in the Bank to the Miz. So you kind of gotta work with your own thing and kind of play into things a little bit, but you know, obviously take that into consideration when you're booking things. In my opinion, that's at least how I would do it. And I also would have a ranking system with wins and losses where they matter. Sometimes after Raw, I feel bad for you. Okay, I already read that one. NXT Women Division is the best women's division. Do you agree? Absolutely. I've said this multiple times. NXT's women division has the greatest women's division right now. It's unrivaled. I don't even think anyone's close. Maybe someone else is close because I don't watch, but I don't think Impact or anyone else can compete with NXT's women division. It's so good. Sacrifice Carrillo, absolutely 100%. Same thing happened to Ricochet. He was a US champ. Now he's a jobber. And Nakamura, he won the Rumble. Now he's a mid-card tag guy. I don't get how it happens. I don't understand how it happens either. Ricochet is ungodly talented. And I think everyone knows that. I pray to God that he does not join Retribution. I really hope. Oh man, that would be terrible. I absolutely love Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know why they don't do anything with him. I don't understand. I don't think that speaking English is a big deal. Look at Asuka. I mean, yeah, she's a little bit wild, but look at how entertaining she is. And look at how entertaining Shinsuke Nakamura was during his no speak English stuff with AJ Styles. That was really good content. That was really good. So I don't quite understand it. Impact Wrestling is on Twitch, right? I believe they're on Access TV, and someone else said that they still do air on Twitch. So yes, you can catch them on there from what I understand. Maybe what I'll do is do a little bit of research for this Tuesday, and I'll let you guys know on Instagram and Twitter when you can catch the show, because I will be watching it as well. So apparently Mox said he would be a tag team wrestler if he lost the AEW championship. That would be interesting. John Moxley and Darby Allin would have a great dynamic, I think, as a tag team. What do you think about our authority, not so authority figure, Adam Pearce? I like Adam Pearce. I have no problem with him. I just wish someone would call him a general manager. That's all. Or not even a general manager, but just be like, yo, Adam Pearce runs the entire show. He's the boss. You do what he says. I think SmackDown will be good if they make Billie Kay the GM because she's trying to give her resume out. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. I really don't understand what they're doing with Billie Kay. I don't understand why they split up the Iconics only to put Peyton Royce in a tag team with Lacey Evans. Makes absolutely no sense. Where did you get the name Authors of Wrestling? So Authors of Wrestling is a double entendre. So it kind of has two meanings. I chose Authors of Wrestling because obviously I'm kind of like authoring wrestling. I'm writing about wrestling, doing all kinds of things like that. So I took it in that aspect, as in just being a writing for wrestling. One of the goals was to have a website with all the news, all the rumors, all the predictions, all the reviews and all that stuff. So it came from that. And then also one of my favorite WWE tag teams at the time when I was creating this was the Authors of Pain. So it kind of plays off of both of those. Marco says, bro, I love your content. Thank you so much, Marco. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Really does mean a lot. Every single person here after an hour and 45 minutes is absolutely insane. Thank you all so much. Fan shows the serious contenders is what I was thinking about. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess they could do like, it would be cool if they did like some kind of like old cyber pay-per-view that they did back in the day, but if they had it updated for today, so people could actually kind of vote, I guess, if you will, in for lack of a better term, like they could vote on things on Twitter or on Instagram or on their website or something, and they could kind of go that way. That'd be pretty cool. They should let Paul Heyman do the booking. Yeah, but they let Bruce Pritchard do it because he's Vince McMahon's yes man, apparently. So they're like buddy, and they love the childish stuff together. So I guess it is what it is on that one. What's this retribution you were saying? Do you mean the Foot Clan? Yes, absolutely. The Foot Clan. Raw saved by The Fiend and Alexa. Their segments are good, but a 10-minute segment, 15-minute segment, it cannot save a 3-hour show. It's too much. I think your prediction of Adam Page beating Omega is dead with this Impact stuff now. It might be. It's really hard to book the AEW future. It's hard to book any future, to be honest, when you're this far away. I would still say that Adam Page is the next AEW World Champion. Obviously, I'll change that as things change, but yeah, I see it. I see Adam Page being the next champion. And I'm not sure what Kenny's going to do in Impact or anything. Their world champion right now is Rich Swann. So, I don't know. Have people been dying to see a Rich Swann and Kenny Omega match? I'm not sure. But I guess we'll find out soon. Maybe they'll do some kind of faction thing with Kenny and the Young Bucks. If there's a trio over there, they just lost the Rascals, so I don't know. Maybe they'll fight the Good Brothers and Hornswoggle or Swoggle, whatever they call them over there. I thought we were getting a face reveal during this live stream. Nope. Sorry to disappoint you, Chloe, but I do not have a camera. And for me, it's like go big or go home. And the camera and the cam link thing that I want is like $950, $850. So yeah, I don't really want to buy it. Maybe if this works out and people continue to tune in and everything does well, sure, absolutely, we'll get to that point. We will get there. What BK is doing right now just screams. We're trying to figure out what to do with you, but we can't determine anything. Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like an R-Truth 24/7 championship segment, just kind of thrown in, just so you're on TV. This has a podcast feel, and it's nice to listen to when doing other stuff. That's kind of my goal for it, was to do that. To me, it's not really entertaining to sit and just watch someone talk. It's not something that I would do. So for the video of someone talking, I just wouldn't be watching it. I'd just be listening to it. So that's why I figured to go this route. Wasn't really sure what to do with the layout, so I just put some logos and chat on there for anyone who's like maybe on a phone or something and they want to do full screen so they can read the chat. It definitely looks like I need to change it up a little bit to make it fit better, but overall, I like the feel on it. I hope you guys too. Hope you guys do too. So let's see. This has a pocket. Oh, I already read that one. Paige should join the Dark Order. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. It would be interesting to see. I'm not sure what the dynamic is that they're gonna go with on that. Are you gonna help in the walk for Elias to get him a TV? Because I feel like this feud isn't over. Yes, we need to orchestrate a walk for Elias. We need to get this man this poor man a TV. It doesn't matter what it is, just some cheap $100 TV, and we need to get this man's a subscription to the WWE Network stat. He needs to know. He needs to know what's going on. He's being lied to. And Detective AEW did not get the case, unfortunately. Sherlock is the one that took that case. And look at where they are. You know? Don't go with Sherlock. He doesn't know what he's doing. If you want a real detective, you call Detective AEW. And you can reach me at 1-800-EVIL. Or no, sorry. God damn it. You can reach me at 1-800-NOT-EVIL extension One. There we go. You should do like retro review of classic matches and pay-per-views. I might plan on doing something like that down the road. Cyber Sunday, yeah, something like that would be pretty cool. Does Cross return at War Games and call Finn out? I don't think so. Maybe though. I'm not sure what his recovery status is. I'm not sure at all. Do you still play the WWE games? I do not. I have not played a WWE game since I beat 2K20 career mode. So whenever the last day is that I uploaded that on YouTube, I think I beat it like the week before. So that's the last time I played that. I'd like to see Paige join the Dark Order and then the Elite reach back out to him and try to save him since Omega went heel. That'd be a pretty cool story. You could do something there. I mean, they've already done some Dark Order and Elite stuff already. And they're not on the best of terms, so it'd be interesting to see how that would play out. But yeah, definitely would like to see at least have a story involved for sure. Elias needs WWE Network, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and the works. We need to treat this man, so we need to walk really far for Elias. Does that 1-800 number even work? No, it does not. It does not. That reminds me, what's next for Finn? He doesn't even have a challenger right now outside of maybe Kushida. Kushida sounds like a good choice for a challenger to me. He's been whooping ass for a couple of weeks, if not a couple of months now. And I'm not mad at that at all. I'm also not mad at Kushida losing. This is the case of having someone go up against someone who's just an amazing wrestler and losing. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you look weak when you go up against the best of the best and lose. As long as you put on a good fight. Thoughts on Will Hobbs? I like him. I think he's great. The dark system seemed to have paid off for him very well. And they slipped him right into the main event scene. So shout out to him. This reminds me, what's next for Finn? Oh, sorry, I already read that one. Also, did you notice that the doll was in a cage during the moment of bliss? Yes, I did notice that. How do you save the Foot Clan? I think that is a topic for another episode, if I would even want to discuss that. Sometimes I feel like some things are too far gone, or I just don't even care anymore. So I don't know, it's kind of hard. Maybe that's something for a Q&A session. Which I guess this has turned into since we finished the show. So yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'll stay on here for 7 more minutes if any of you have any more questions, and then we'll wrap it up at about 2 hours, which is absolutely insane because I only planned on being live for like 30 minutes. So the turnout was great. I appreciate it. Finn Balor versus Kushida would be fire. I agree. I think that would be a really good match. I think both men could perform. And the thing too with NXT is that they actually let you wrestle. So they could put on a good match. You know? Which WWE star do you think will appear on AEW next? Goat Filipino answered Ricochet. I could definitely see Ricochet floating over. I'm not quite sure who I would see go over there next. I don't really feel like AEW needs to sign more people, to be honest. Sting is kind of like an extra. He's not like an up-and-coming star. You don't have to devote a lot of time to him. He can come out, speak for 3 minutes, or stand on the side of the ring and still be a huge draw for them. So that's kind of different. But I would like to see them focus on what they have now. And if they do decide to split Dark into 2 nights, they're still supposedly supposed to have another show, which I'm assuming will come out in 2021. So I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of AEW being queued up, but we'll have to see. I want them to hold off on signings until they have more stuff, especially since titles are very prestige over there. There's not very many of them. So there shouldn't be a ton of people either, because those should be big fighting points. I think Zelina is going to be All Elite next. Okay. I'm okay with that one. I'm okay with that one. I do think that she would maybe go to Impact if she were to. She'd be good in a manager role on AEW, but with them having a partnership, it may be one and the same. If you could bring one AEW star to WWE, who would you bring? I wouldn't inflict that on anyone over at AEW currently. unless they just want to get rich. And if they just want to line their pockets with money, they can go over there. But I wouldn't want to see like Hangman or something go over there, or Kenny Omega go over there or something and be a janitor. That's just not, at least in the current state. Maybe later on, if they're able to fix their stuff, absolutely. But until then, no. Quick question, 2006, 2007, or 2015 Cena, and what did you like about either of those reigns? For me, I did not watch in 06 or 07 or 2015. So I cannot answer that question at all. I took a break somewhere around 2005, I want to say. Somewhere around there. And then I came back. I started watching I think at the very beginning of 2016 is when I started watching again. Whenever the Hardy Boys returned at WrestleMania is the day that I came back. Will you do more of these? Yes, Marco, I will be doing more of these. Hopefully I'm planning on doing one on Friday too. It'll probably be a lot shorter. I'll probably try to cap them at an hour. So I have to move through the topics a little bit quicker. But yeah, I'm planning to do one of these after every single show. So for sure Friday, for sure Monday, and for sure next Wednesday as well. I'll try and do one for TakeOver. It just depends on like what time it ends and what we have going on. Because I didn't realize that was just in a couple of days. Thoughts on Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business? The Hurt Business is awesome. They are one of my favorite things in WWE currently. They're absolutely killing it. MVP has done a fantastic job. If you know, I'm a huge fan of Shelton Benjamin. He's been one of my favorites since he debuted. I was watching back then. I played Shelton Benjamin in all like the Here Comes the Pain games, the SmackDown games. That was my jam. So I'm very happy for that. I've been a big fan of Cedric Alexander as well. So very happy to see them doing that. And if Ricochet is going to do anything, he should join the Hurt Business. He would fit in there so well. And I would love to see it. I would love to see that. So hopefully that happens. I don't know though. I do think that, I hate to say it because we've already seen the match a couple times, but I would love to see Cedric and Shelton actually be the tag team champions. That would be amazing. What's your biggest WWE dream match between current superstars at the moment? For me, if you want to consider Brock Lesnar a current superstar, him and Bobby Lashley is something that I've always wanted to see. I think Brock Lesnar can bring it if he wants to. So as long as it's something that he would be interested in, I would love seeing that. Absolutely. I'm sure there's others that are just kind of escaping my mind at the moment. Should Drew AJ be a TLC match? Sure. Why not? It's at a TLC pay-per-view. If pay-per-view is going to have the gimmicks, I feel like most of the matches should have those gimmicks as well. I don't know though. It probably won't be. Probably won't be. What is the best match of all of 2020 in your opinion? I don't know. That's a really hard question. Especially because I don't even remember the stuff that happened like pre-pandemic and stuff. The tag matches between the Young Bucks and Adam Page and Omega were one of my favorites. The Young Bucks and FTR was one of my favorites. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns was incredible. There's a lot of good ones. It's really hard for me to do stuff like that. AEW podcast ideas: booking by AEW, after show podcast, wrestling news, interview podcast, review. Yeah, so I think it's all just kind of gonna be bundled under future endeavors. I consider this a podcast, even though there's a video. Still kind of in podcast form. You could take away the same information if I just stripped the video and just put it on like Apple Podcasts or something. So it's all going to be titled under future endeavors, unless it's, a booking thing or a news thing. I've thought about doing short news segments, and maybe not posting them on YouTube, but posting them as like 3, 4, 5-minute clips on IGTV. So they would just be on Instagram feeds. I'm not sure though. I guess we'll see how this goes and then go from there, and expand on interview. I'm not quite sure I'm up to interviewing anyone. That's not really my wheelhouse. I would be more than happy to go be interviewed by someone or be a part of someone else's podcast if they wanted. That's not a problem. Review podcasts, absolutely. That's what we're doing right now. And we will be doing for the foreseeable future. So we will be here Friday about 10 or 15 minutes after the show goes off. Let's check time. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I'll answer just a couple more that have already been typed in, and then we're going to call it a wrap for tonight. What you guys started with doing these reviews. It's always something that I wanted to do to be more creative. I do have like a gaming YouTube that I've always wanted to do, but I've just been really busy. And it's been more of just kind of like a side thing that I do when I have time. So I've always really wanted to focus more on content like this so that this could be something that I could do in the future, because this is the stuff that I really like to do. I find it a lot of fun. And so here we are. And I want to get started doing them at an important part. And I felt like I really wanted to do it during Black Wednesday or whatever, when everyone got released, because future endeavors, like the name fits perfectly. But I wasn't, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't at a point where I could do it and commit to do it consistently. So here we are. I thought this was a great starting point with this Winter is Coming pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, but special episode event. So hopefully it will evolve and get better over the time. I'm actually kind of surprised that I did this well for a 2-hour show that I put together in a couple days. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it was entertaining to sit here with me for a while, and I do expect it to get a little bit better. I do want to do a lot more on the production side. If you noticed and you were here in the beginning, I created like a starting soon screen. I did like a little beginning for Patterson, and then we went into the intro and stuff like that. So I really want to have like good production quality for people to come in and see that I take what I do seriously. I think it's important to take what you do seriously as well. Don't half-ass anything at all. Like I'm here to have some fun, talk with you guys, because I really appreciate what you guys have done for me. You guys have given me one of the best wrestling communities in the world, and it means the world to me. So it's exciting, and it's kind of cool to get in touch with people on a different level. Especially like for me, like there's so many people that interact in the comments, whether they're good or bad or ugly or whatever. Like you don't really get to know people. You get familiar with usernames and you get familiar with profile pictures and stuff like that. But I think it's much cooler to do stuff like this. And that's also why I do Q&As every Sunday. Just because I feel like it's cool for you guys to be able to get to know me a little bit better and ask me the questions that you want to know. And it's also cool for me to be able to interact with you guys and stuff like that. I think it's very important. And, you know, I want you guys to be involved in everything. And like I said, hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it by Friday. But hopefully by next week, I want to do a Discord server where people can actually hop in calls, and you guys can actually be a part of the show too. You can talk to me. You can talk to chat. We can have a good time. If I absolutely hate a segment on Raw, maybe you thought it was good. Maybe you thought it was amazing. Come on, tell us why you thought it was amazing. And I want this to be a friendly environment, you know, where we encourage different thoughts. And I think that's what makes discussions like this even better, is when, you know, if everyone's in here and everyone's like, oh man, this sucks, this was the worst, it's okay, whatever, you know. Or you come in here and it's like, this was the best show ever, this was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. It's like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, but like, let's have some discussions. Let's talk about something. Let's kind of not necessarily debate and argue, but like, I want to see how you feel about it. I want you to see how I feel about it. We're all our own individuals, and we all have our own things that we like and we don't like. So I think it's really cool to be able to do this with you guys, and not only do that, but kind of change what everyone else is doing, like, or not to fit in and do what everyone else is doing. Everyone else just sits here and just talks. I don't want to do that. I want to sit here and talk to you, and I want you to talk to me. So I really want to have that interaction. I think it's one of the most important things. So I want to continue building on that, and I want to continue to find ways for you guys to interact. to be able to interact with me here and all of that. So that's something I really look forward to. If you have any ideas or you want to be on the show, like I said earlier, please feel free to DM me on Instagram or Twitter. My DMs are open. I read them all the time. Sometimes I get a little behind on days like this, but I always read them. If you want to be on the podcast, like I said, feel free to reach out. If you want me to be on one with you, please feel free to reach out. There's no requirements or anything. Like, let's just have fun, man. I'm supporting you on Instagram, and now I'm supporting you on YouTube. Keep doing you, man. You're doing a good job. Thank you, Dan. I really appreciate it. It does mean a lot. I do appreciate all you guys that hang out with me all week. It's absolutely insane. You think AEW crossed the $1 million mark tonight? Absolutely. I think they did, from Sting and forward. Now can be your Instagram post in your voice? Yes, you can. Even though I've been posting gaming videos for like over a year, so my voice exists on that YouTube channel as well. Just hopped on now. Where do you think Sting is going from here? Darby's mentor, maybe. That's what I'm leading towards. Maybe a mentor for Darby, a manager for Darby, something of that sorts. That I don't think he's wrestling a lot. I'm sure he might a couple times, but he has a multi-year contract, so I don't really see him wrestling all the time. Just hopped on. Everything on Raw sucks, period. That's not true. The Alexa Bliss stuff and the Fiend stuff is really good. Drew's been really good. But there's a lot of bad. The Hurt Business is good. Oh, never mind. This is ending. Check this out tomorrow. Yeah, Nick. So the way that this works is once the live stream ends, YouTube will process it, and then the whole entire thing will be available for replay. And to close out the show, I'll tell you guys when I'll be doing the next one as well, so that I don't have to go over it a bunch more times. But we're wrapping up the show right now. We'll be done in just a minute here. Hey bro, just one question. Is there a real ratings war, even though I like both? No, rated C, there is no real ratings war, I guess. I would not say so. I do it more so because I find it interesting more than anything. AEW's viewership dips quite a bit. NXT's typically remains pretty solid, but AEW will have like 850 or 900, and then they'll dip down to like 7. So I find it interesting, and they're on the same night. So of course there's going to be competition, whether it's friendly or not. For me, I love NXT. I love AEW. I don't care which one wins. All I want is good wrestling. That's all. That is all. And that goes for Monday and Friday as well. All I want is good wrestling. All I want is good shows. I don't have any agendas. Nothing. I just want a good wrestling show. That's all. And everyone else should want one too. If the AJ Lee rumors are true, do you see CM Punk signing with WWE as well? Absolutely not. I do not. He did say it was possible, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Foot Clan. Yes, Foot Clan. All right, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up. We're like 2 hours and 10 minutes. Thank all of you guys for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. 74 likes on the video. That's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. We didn't really get a chance to talk NXT, but maybe we'll do that some other time, or maybe next week or so. We will be here on Friday. So about 10 or 15 minutes after SmackDown, I will be live here. We will be talking about SmackDown as well. I'll probably try to keep the show a little bit shorter, maybe an hour, somewhere between the 30, maybe 45 minutes to an hour range, 45 minutes to an hour range, to talk about the show, and hopefully get you guys involved in that one too. If not, I'll still be doing it like this with chat, and reading everything you guys say and going over it and chatting with you. So yeah, Friday, same time, 7:15ish. So about 10-15 minutes after SmackDown ends, and then maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday. I'm not sure. I will let you guys know on Twitter and Instagram if I plan on doing this on Sunday, if I'm able to. We will 100% be here on Monday following Raw as well, 10 or 15 minutes after the show. And then, as always, this will be a normal thing on Wednesdays. So 7:10, 7:15. I mean, I guess that changes for the time zone you're in. 10 or 15 minutes after the show. So just remember, if you want to check out the show, I will be live 10 or 15 minutes after the show. And then I'll also let you guys know on Instagram. I'll make a post and let you guys know. And that's for if it is or isn't happening as well. But they should be happening. Friday Endeavors is going to be awesome. Yes, there you go. Have a good one, brother. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. You have a good night as well, my friend. I got to go do some work and check on my Instagram, make sure everything's not exploding. Can't wait to see where this Roman and Kevin feud is going. Me either. That should be a good one. That should be a real good one. Great stuff tonight. Thank you, Paco. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It means a lot. I'm very excited to interact with you guys, and I'm very excited to continue this a little bit more. So have a good night. Thank you all for tuning in. I don't have an ending screen because I forgot to make one. So we're just going to be out. So have a good night, guys. I appreciate it. And I will see you on Friday, 10 or 15 minutes after SmackDown. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.